We are in the middle of a very necessary SAG-AFTRA and WGA strike, and it doesn't just involve what you can audition for and what you can't audition for right now. It also involves PR and promotion of any AMPTP projects. To help you understand all of this and truly understand how you can promote and can't promote your projects right now, I brought in my dear friend, entertainment publicist Tammy Lynn from Spotlight PR to help. In this video, Tammy will give you 5 strike-friendly PR tips that will keep you out of trouble. Let's do this. Hi, Tammy. It's so great to see you. Let's just dive in and let's start with the can't, right? I'm usually hugs and hashtags and positive, but let's start with what you can't do. What can't you promote right now?
Well, there's a lot of stuff. It basically, any actor who's appearing in a studio project or a network project or any other AMPTP member project, you cannot promote it in any way, period. Like, that is it. So there are officially, you are not allowed to do any promotion or publicity services at the direction of the AMPTP company, such as media tours, personal appearances, interviews, convention and fan expos, festivals, for your consideration events, panels, premieres and screenings, award shows, junkets, podcast appearances, social media, and studio showcases. Okay, that is a ton of stuff that you can't do. And I realize that you're probably wondering, does that mean that all of that hard work and all of your talents are gonna go unnoticed if you have something premiering or airing or screening right now? No. Absolutely not. There are still a bunch of ways that you can promote your artistic career, your talents, even if your latest project happens to be premiering during the strike, right? It's still going to highlight you. There's some ways that you can highlight yourself as being in the game, which is what it's really all about. So let's go through a few of them that I think are super easy for you to be able to do and will help promote you as in the game. The first, post on social about your strike experience, right? This showcases you as a professional who's an active union member. This will actually help to build buzz. Guys, this is a moment where you probably don't even realize that industry folks are all over social media right now. They're paying attention to who's doing what, who's where, who can I connect with, all of these things. This gives you such an advantage to connect with them, to interact with them in a way that you wouldn't have had this exposure before. So don't think of it as just a negative. Plus, it gives you a chance to explain what you're fighting for.
I love that. I love that. If you are posting about the strike, here are a few hashtags you can use to spread the word even more on platforms like Twitter and platforms like Instagram. I'll also make sure that they're in the description below so that they're super easy to cut and paste. So Tammy mentioned posting about your strike experience, which is awesome and necessary, but I also invite you to think beyond the booked it post. There's so much you can post on social that can help tell your story online. And I'll link to a resource in the description and right here that's going to give you 5 things to post about beyond your bookings at this time. So Tammy, I have a lot of clients, and I know you do too, who have had press campaigns canceled. Do you have any advice for them?
Well, yes, of course. And in fact, I would tell you, don't only think of your press campaign as being canceled. Think of it as on delay, right? So no one is allowed to do any press right now related to these studio network and AMPTP projects, right? The celebrities aren't, the creators of the shows aren't, nobody's doing anything. So the reporters that I've talked to since the strike started can't wait for this to end. They miss you guys already because they want to be able to have some content for their platforms. And in fact, many of them have actually told me that circle back with me at the end because we won't have been able to have any of these interviews. So they might still be interested later in chatting about what may have already premiered, hopefully not too long in the distance, but they may still be willing to do stuff even later. And additional platform releases, guys, later on can also offer an opportunity. So if you have a big film that's premiering in theaters, or if you're at a festival and you're not allowed to promote these in any way, think of it when your film has another release on a streaming platform, right? When it's moving on to the next phase of its distribution, that is a great time to possibly circle back and consider doing a press campaign at that time. Because again, they won't have covered it in the past in the same way. They won't have had those interviews. So then it'll feel fresh to them too when it's releasing to a much broader audience.
Oh, I love these tips. Don't think of your press campaign as canceled. Consider it on delay. And I love this about finding those other press opportunities. That's why Tammy's here. She's awesome. These are such great tips.
Thanks. Well, I have one more, and I think it's a good one. I think it's a big one. Promote your own projects. This is when, the press still needs lots of entertainment news and entertainment people to cover and highlight, and projects they still have to provide for their audience. So if you have a project that is going to be coming up that's about ready, you may not have even thought of doing a press campaign before because you're like, I'm going to get gobbled up and swallowed and nobody will see it. This may be a great time because they've got space. A lot of them are looking for unique projects that they can highlight, things that they can talk about. So this might be the time, for some of those smaller projects to get a bigger sort of scope and to get more press than you thought. So it's an opportunity for, if you've got a project and you've never done a press campaign before, I would love for you to at least consider, whether it's even just going to your hometown outlet or, reaching out to some other local or things that tie in, consider doing some form of a press campaign for your own project.
If you have any doubts about, what you can or cannot do, visit the union websites for more details, contact them directly. Here are some links on the screen, but we'll also put direct links in the description below if you have any questions about whether or not your project can be promoted right now.
The silver lining in all of this is you're not alone. You're out there. If you're on the picket line, you're probably meeting the writers and the future showrunners and the creators of things. So this is really great. Everybody understands, or most, maybe if you're a head of a studio, you don't quite get it, but everybody else understands what you're fighting for. And even if you must put your PR on hold, it's okay. The strike will end at some point, and then we can keep building your buzz together.
Yes. Thank you so much for being here and helping my subscribers and my community, Tammy. It's always a pleasure. Anyone that wants to connect with Tammy about your projects, just about anything, I put all of Tammy's links in the description below, to social, to her website, spotlightprcompany.com, and you can connect with her down there. Thanks so much for being here, Tammy, and we'll see you on social. Bye.